be live. Come on, YouTube. Yep, says yeah. Hey yo. Let me just open up the chat. Okay. Alright, so like the title says, I'm gonna try and work on some stuff for rush cards. I had some ideas. Now, the thing with rush is that there's no chain links, there's nothing like that, and requirements, which are kind of like the costs, they all happen in resolution. So for this one, for example, send to card deck to gray, shuffle your deck. In the cost, we're checking that you can build a top up card, and then in the operation, we actually pay the quote-unquote cost, and then we do the effect. If okay, this shouldn't be here. Okay. So now there were the ideas to shorten this into function calls and stuff, and I have two ideas basically. One of them is very simple and is gonna work 100%. The other one is a bit more complex, and I wanted to see if I can make it work. But if it works, we are not gonna need this part at all, and just one simple function as the one simple function as the cost will do all the work for us. So I'm gonna try and do that now. I guess it can be in the rush table, makes more sense. And then now there's a lot of like this one, send to card to get the Gayad is a very common requirement, or maybe not. And then maybe the number of cards changes, like send top 2 cards, top 3, whatever. This one, send the spellcaster from your hand to Gayad. This is a very common requirement as well. Okay, sorry about that. My sister wanted to show me something. Yeah. So basically, create some generic cost function generator for top. Yeah, basically that. So this one is like send a spellcaster from your hand to graveyard. So send from your hand to graveyard is very generic as well. Or the other ones are shuffle or return from the graveyard into the deck. That's a common one as well. But yeah, I'm gonna start with send the top card, which I think is one of the most common ones. Yeah, so right, so let's name it. I mean, it's gonna be a tentative name, but send from a deck requirement, something like that. Now the main thing, I guess, is that if the number of cards that you can send changes, there needs to be a variable here that determines a parameter rather. So something that says send to top 2 or send top 3. Now most commonly it's going to be sent to top card, I think. We can check, I guess. Rush, send the top. So 113 cards. 17 cards. So there are some cards that say more than one, but the vast majority says send the top card. So we're going to assume that the default is to send one. So basically, I guess if, or rather, count So if count is nil, so I'm gonna I guess if we don't pass anything, it's gonna be something like this, like that. Then it's gonna be assumed to be 1. That's the idea. And then we need to actually do the whatchamacallit, the actual activation check. We need this right here. So this is the basic, I mean, this activation, now instead of 1, it should say count. Okay. So the activation check is already done here. Now, the one idea, which is very simple and is gonna work for sure, is to do something like this here. Now, the difference, the detail with Rush is that we perform the requirement in the operation rather than inside the cost. So when this is executed to check, it does a check. When it's executed to as part of the activation process, it shouldn't do anything, but it should happen down here. Now, if we just do this, like this, it's gonna do it on activation. But it's a very simply we could just do if I think it's chain solving. Let me check. Solving or resolving, something like that. Chain, and it's not on Bastion, maybe. Chain res. Okay, I'm fairly certain that it's chain solving, but we'll see. Right, so if we do this, when it's executed to as part of the activation process, it's gonna stop here, and then we just do this again in the operation, and it's gonna go through and go through this and just do this. Now that's a simple idea, it works definitely, and it's gonna turn this into this pretty much. We just fix the indentation, but yeah, so that works. I don't even need to test that, that works for sure. What I want to try is something different. Now, the idea is the following. In here, I'm going to create an effect, and this effect will do something when this effect resolves. And the thing it's going to do is, in this case, the send the top card. And so for this one, we're going to use this event called event chain solving, which if I go correctly, this card does use it. Yeah, this one. So let me just copy this part. Just for reference. When you do get cost, so you get the cost function instead of generating twice. Oh yeah, I guess you mean here, instead of just calling this again, to do this. Yeah, you can probably do that, yeah. You could do that, I guess, yeah. In any case, what I'm trying to do. So chain solving, so the moment an effect starts resolving before it's actually doing something, this is why it's used by this, because it negates. The moment it starts resolving, you do stuff. And the idea is that in here it's going to do the discard one, not discard, sorry, middle one. It's got discard, but yeah. So let's see. No, I'm not sure if a single effect works for this. I'm gonna have to test it, I guess. So like single continuous. The idea being that single chain solving, that when this specific card's effect is resolving, you do this. Now if this doesn't work, we're just gonna make it a dual effect, failed dual, and we're gonna check on the condition that it's this specific effect that we care about. Okay, so let's see. Now, if there's no syntax errors or anything, if it works, we should get a debug message. Okay, it doesn't work. Let me just make sure that it actually does this stuff. Nope. What's the problem here? Shouldn't this print? The second one sounds overly complicated. Yeah, it's a bit complicated, but I mean, even if we don't use it, I just want to try it out and see if it works. Okay, that prints. Let me make a... Oh, right. So do I need to do this? Maybe. Yeah, that looks correct. Actually, change these. Okay, so that works. Yeah, so I had to just call it here. You're right. Now this doesn't work. So I guess we'll try the field dual version. Okay, so that works. Now, in the condition, we'll check that it's the specific effect. Or I forget, reset chain. Like this. Okay, so how are we gonna do this? I guess I'll pass the effect as the label object. And then RE should be the effect that we are looking at in this condition. Now there's no chains in Rush and stuff, so this is just a precaution, I guess. Okay. And then in here, we're gonna do the actual milling. So this. And then this is gonna be probably like a label or something. So here, the effects label. It's gonna be the count. And we remove all of this. Why is this even here? Whatever. The operation is simply to shuffle. And then I need to also put this here. Okay. Was it the top card? Yeah, okay, so you should have sent Master Bone and then shuffle. Oop, shuffle. Okay. So I mean it seems to work. Some small details now. Okay. Now there's no chains and stuff like I said, so an effect failing is not a thing. Like if you have the requirement to pay, you can just do it. So I'm not sure if we should have some checks in here whether it should stop or not. Like for example, if you don't have a card anymore in your deck, but that could be done for sure. It could be done for sure. Like basically here in here it was checking. It was checking this. If this is higher than 0, blah 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 blah, right? The idea being that if you don't mill, you don't proceed with the actual effect. But in Rush, that's kind of impossible. But I mean, that's something that could be added later, I guess. It's not, shouldn't be too difficult. At the worst case, it would either like, well, if it just returns here, it probably won't stop this, but because it's a different effect. But we could maybe, since we have access to the effects of the label object, maybe we could negate the effect, or we could make the effect's operation null or something like that. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess for just to be safe, we should do it. So if so if it just returns here, it's not gonna do anything. So because this effect is gonna end, and then the operation is gonna actually resolve normally. And there is the option to negate it, quote unquote. So what's her name? Luna. Fairy Tail. If you do this, I wonder what happens. Maybe it's gonna be not this. EV. Negate EV. Right hand. Get effect EV, this one. Because 0 is the effect itself. Obviously it doesn't make sense to negate this effect. I'll just do this here, for example. I wonder if there's going to be any visuals, like a negating symbol or something. Okay, yeah, that's kind of bad. Because obviously it wasn't in that case it wouldn't be a negated effect. It would be just you failed to pay the cost. But I have another idea. Maybe this guy changes operations. You can make that effect become blah blah blah. Chain operation. So this only changes the specifics, the specific activations operation, not the effects in general. Oops. Jesus. Okay. And let's just make this a blank like function that just returns. Yeah, okay. So the idea is that if this fails, then we change the operation to something that doesn't do anything. If it doesn't fail, then it should work fine. Oop, okay. So yeah, it works. Another small detail is, okay, so when you discard here, technically the card is milled because of this effect, of this, not because of this. So that's slightly inaccurate. But I think there's some kind of set reason effect function or something. Let me look. Set reason. Card set reason, card set reason card, set reason effect, set reason player. Guess those three. Sets out here. Yeah, so I guess okay, I guess we're gonna have to do this a bit like so, maybe. If so if we do discard successfully, we get the operator group. And then for each card in the operator group, we do what's it called again? Set reason card, set reason effect. Reason player is the same, so that should be fine. This is set reason card and set reason effect. The reason effect is get label object. Actually, reason card is the same too, so we don't need to change that. Because even this effect is belongs to this card, so it's the same. Yeah, so if we do this, if we do mill successfully, set the reason effect on everything that was milled to be this one instead of this one, if that matters for whatever reason. Otherwise, and then return, I guess. Return. Otherwise, change the operation. Okay. Not testing that. I'm just gonna reverse the check so it quote unquote fails. Okay, obviously it tries to do it and then it stops. Okay, yeah, it doesn't shuffle because it goes here. Whereas like this, it goes inside the if, does whatever it does, and then just returns silently. Oop, shuffle, okay. Right, so that seems to be done then. Now I'm not, because we have to call it here, I'm not quite sure about this. Like because yeah, I forgot, because we return a function in here, I forgot that we have to call this. So I was thinking, we're just gonna do this and then default into 1, right? Makes sense. But we need to call this here, so but calling it with no arguments is a little weird. So maybe I should just do this then. Maybe this makes more sense. I have a feeling it makes more sense. Yes, I think I'll go for that. So this whole script, basically, we can also like shorten this one a little bit. It's because the only thing it does is shuffle, so. Yeah, so this part is the script, the actual code script. All this stuff is gonna be outside. So yeah, it's pretty nice, I guess. Again, I don't know if we're gonna go for this, because I don't know if the others are gonna agree with this weird kind of implementation. But I at least wanted to try it. And it seems to work fine. Now, if I recall correctly, there's some cards now that sent from the bottom of the deck instead of the top. And I mean, for that, we could just have a different parameter here that determines whether it's from the top or not. And then depending on that, we do a different check. And then depending on that, this does something different. It shouldn't be that difficult to accomplish. Okay, so now the theory is gonna be the same basically even for this guy. It's just the specifics are gonna change. Mystic Dealer, draw one card, draw. So let me try and make the equivalent for sending from the hand grade. Send from hand requirement. We're gonna have count, so how many of them. This one sends 2, this one sends 1, it could be others that send 2 and stuff. And we're also gonna need a filter, because this sends spellcaster monsters specifically. This can be the check. I'm just gonna borrow this. So we're gonna send 1 and we're gonna send spellcaster, so I guess it's gonna have to be a filter like this. Or maybe, I guess we could do, what's it called? Like, filter bool? Yeah. Filter bool function, something like that. That is raise spellcaster. That should work, I think. Now this cost filter is gonna be, now this is gonna be checked by the actual filter we pass, so if we have either no filter or filter returns true and comes in the greatest cost, and then we just need to pass the filter here. Okay. Condition is gonna remain the same, or okay, now there's one particular thing here we need to yeah, we need to pass both the effect and the filter in here so we can actually do the discarding. Let me copy this part. So since the label objects can actually get a table, we can pass multiple things at the same time. I didn't see you writing it. You gotta go. Oh, good man, no worries. Okay, yeah. So we can. I guess we'll make a table, the effect, and the filter, the function. So we need to pass multiple things here. So so then we just need to do. Okay, local table unpacked. If I go correctly, that's the function. Get the first one. I think the order should be kept, right? So the first one is going to be the effect, the second one is going to be the whatchamacallit, the filter. So over here we'll do F and filter. I think that's gonna work. Select. We'll pass the filter again. If you succeeded, we need to do the same stuff again here. Oh, actually, we should do this. It's a little more efficient. We also need to check, I guess, that it actually ended up in the graveyard. It's a little more precise. So G filter count card is the location grave is the number of G. So everything from G actually end up in the graveyard. Set return effect, return, otherwise blank it out. Yeah, so let's see if this works. I'm not sure about this one. Let's get spellcaster. Okay, no syntax errors. Okay. Parameter should be effect 61. Oh, right, this is a table. Wait, I already have the effect up here. Okay. Oop, okay, nice. Now if I for some reason don't have a spellcaster anymore, twin twisters, So let's say activate the effect, chain twisters, discard this. So now I don't have any spellcasters in the hand. It doesn't do anything. Because it's gonna go it's gonna go down here. Okay. Right, so that works again. And then we could do stuff like if I change the number here, we're gonna need 2 spellcasters. Hold up. Oh, wait. Yeah, I actually need to check this then. This should be count. There we go. It was checking that you have 1 at least, instead of the amount you pass to it. And then if we put a second one, we should be able to use it. Now, of course, the selection also needs the... okay, yeah. We actually also need to pass the count. I forgot about that. Oh, wait, it is here. It's passed. Never mind. Did I not? Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, I did do this. Okay. But I need to do this here as well. When selecting, I guess let's do local count. Like so. Okay, now I can select 2. Go 1. Yeah, so all this is the script. All this stuff is it's gonna be outside the script. It's gonna be like the default functions, pretty much. And now if I want to change, let's say, what to discard. Let's say I want to discard let's say I discard a spell, right? We could do this. What is spell? And I messed up something. Oh, there's an extra paragraph. This is missing. Okay. Boom, easy. If it's monster, then it's gonna allow us to discard any monster basically. The 1, okay, nice. Now, because this needs to check for the spellcaster race, this is a single function that checks immediately if it's a monster or not. There's no such function for checking if it's a spellcaster specifically. So we need to use isRace and actually pass a parameter to it. And to do that easily, we could just use it. This is the same. Let me showcase it. Doing this is the same as doing this. So instead of doing this, we could do this, and it's the same. Now, of course, this is a little more. This is kind of like a random field that only checks one thing. It could be simplified, and you can do the whole thing in a single line. Right, so that's the send from behind the graveyard. Like I said before, the name is tentative, but this is just something to differentiate them right now. Yeah. Now, other common ones are, let's see, I think there's shuffle from the graveyard to the deck. Change the deck. Into the deck. Shuffle 3, blah blah, you change the deck. That's a different one. There's definitely some that like send itself. This card. Okay, so this sends other stuff. That's one. It's a little more complicated, but it's the thing. Your hand. So this plays from the game on the bottom of the deck. Is it all really no? In any case, I'm pretty sure it exists, but failed to be graveyard. That sends something generic, not itself. Send to face up. Face up Umi, different card. Okay, there are a lot that send one blank filter card from the filter gradient. And this face up card, there we go, like this one. One other. Send this face up card. Oops. Right, so that one's gonna be one for sure. And then one that sends other stuff. Like this one, sends one face up aqua from your filter gradient. It can send itself, but it can also send other things. That's gonna be a different one probably. Make it simpler. I mean, it's gonna be a different function. Returning from the deck to graveyard. I guess paying life points. Yeah, that could be maybe one. Pretty simple. So send from hand to the graveyard, send from deck to graveyard, send from field to graveyard, pay life points, return from the deck, from the graveyard to the deck, either shuffle or bottom or top or whatever. I don't think, well, there's no banishing in Rush. I don't think there's return from the graveyard to the hand as a requirement. As an effect, yes, but as a requirement, I don't think there is. That might be it, huh? Pay life points. I don't know if I already said it. I don't think there's a requirement that makes you gain life points. That makes no sense. Yeah, there shouldn't be any. Yeah, so, how long has it been? The stream should be about like an hour, 45 minutes. Okay. Well, I'm kind of done already though. I don't know, like I said, if I do like the ones I just mentioned, the logic is gonna be the same exactly. It's just that some details here and there are gonna change. Like instead of selecting to send from the hand to graveyard, you select from the graveyard to go back to the deck. Like the details are gonna change, but the overall logic is gonna be the same. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do anymore. The whole idea here is that the actual operation function of each effect is exactly and only what the effect says here, instead of having to be this as well. Like in this guy, for example, the effect is to shuffle, or the operation just shuffles, doesn't do anything else. The whole thing with the requirements is handled by the cost. That's the logic behind this. This implementation. It's a little complex, yes. I'm not gonna deny it's a little complex. but I do like the fact that the operation only does what the effect does, and doesn't have to do any extra things. This just draws, the other one shuffles, and that's about it. And everything from the requirement is both check-wise, activation check, and actually performing it is handled inside the cost, pretty much. So yeah, like I said, I don't know if we're gonna actually use this. This is just an idea I had. I wanted to kinda see if it works. It does work. And now later I'm gonna present it to the other peeps in the team that mainly work on Rush, because I don't really work on Rush most of the time. So I'm gonna show this to them and see what they think. If they want to use it, if they want to maybe change something, I don't know. I think the Rush effects and scripts are relatively simple, generally speaking, so simplifying them even more is not a bad idea. I mean, there was already the idea to turn costs, common requirements into common functions to be used interchangeably, and it's kind of that idea a bit expanded, but yeah. In any case, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and yeah, maybe in the near future you're gonna see this stuff being used in your actual game if you care about script and Rush cards and stuff, of course. If you don't, then I mean you don't. So yeah, take care. Bye bye. Peace.